Hi everyone, this is a video short on some of the best procedures to batch plot an AutoCAD drawing. The first thing we want to do when we get ready to batch plot is realize you have to be on either the model tab or the paper space tab, and we're typically going to plot, with rare exceptions, from the paper space tab. So click on the paper space tab that you want to modify, come up to Output, and go to Page Setup Manager and select the current page setup. Go to Modify and say OK. And the most critical piece as far as getting line weights correct would be to come over here to the right and select the correct CTB file. So when you click into the CTB file, the ones we will use with most projects will be either the DSE pins, it will be the DSE pins or the DSE with the scale of the drawing behind it. Now DSE pins is a generic one that will cover really 1/4 inch, 3/16 of an inch, even 1/8 of an inch many times. If you need to get into a scale that is smaller than that, you may want to go to the DSE 1/16. But I'd suggest use the DSE pins as a rule. Now, an exception to that is if you are doing a project that is related to a specific architect, they may have their own pins. So you can see in here we have a few others, a few other pin files that you'll want to use if you're doing a job, a project for an architect where they have their own pin colors. And if that's the case, see me and we can walk through how to get their pins so they're accessible if they're not already. So set your pins, that's the most critical thing. Make sure that fit to paper is unselected. Your scale should be 1:1 always. What to plot, typically we've been trying to plot layout, and you will then want to make sure under plot options you have plot object line weights checked, plot transparency can be unchecked, the next two, plot with plot styles checked, plot paper space last checked, hide paper space objects unchecked. So what you see here would be what you would want to print. Say OK, and print plotter, it would be helpful as well if you would come in here and select drawing to PDF. There we go. So that is what you're going to want to show. So say OK and say close, and now come over to batch plot. And right now we have just the single drawing. If you have other drawings you want to add, you can come up here to plus, go find those drawings, whatever they may be, and say select, and they will come in. And let me select one more here, and if you've not done this before, it's definitely worth doing. It'll save you time later on. Here under the include tab, do the pop down, and instead of selecting model and layout or model, make sure it's just layout. I think the default is model and layout, and select that way. That sets things up to where you don't have to go back and delete the model space tabs out of this each and every time. Once you get that in place, make sure here we're drawing to PDF and publish options. This is our standard setup. Vector quality can be 600, raster image 400. Include layer information off, include hyperlinks off, create bookmarks off, capture fonts used in the drawings typically will be on. These are some standard settings. They may vary under certain circumstances, but those would be the outliers. Once you get that in place, you can include plot stamp off, publish and background off, open in viewer when done. I would select that and then say publish, and tell it where you want to place your file. For the time being, let's just drop it into documents and say select. And if you want to save this job, this set of drawings, you can save this as a file into the job directory. It's up to you whether that's beneficial or not. I'm going to say no in this case, and my files will be created. And this, when it's done, should then pop up the PDF that I have just created. So we'll let it run through its paces here and see what we get when it's all said and done. So I can click down here now and say close, and that's going to bring my PDF up in front, and I can now scroll through each sheet and see if it looks like what I expect it to look like. And in this case it does. And I can close that and I should be good to go. Hopefully that helps with some of the plotting issues from AutoCAD that we've been having. If you go through this step by step, you should be able to get a decent plot out in a reasonable amount of time. If you're having issues or something is not working as it should, please let me know and I will be glad to help.